Okay, Stanley Parable. I've played this before. It's a slightly weird game, a very weird game actually. I came across this in a video of Watch Mojo about games that break the fourth wall, and this being on number 2 I think, and this was so interesting to me that I downloaded it on Steam. I think it's 15 euros. I played this. I was quite confused because I finished the game, but it's not a game that you're supposed to finish. The goal is to explore, so I did, but then I couldn't find anything more to explore. But I'll just show you the beginning, what the purpose of the game is, the quirky humor, and because the goal is to explore, I will not go too far into exploring or show you routes you can take. You can find that out for yourself. So, we've just seen the intro movie about Stanley being an office clerk, pressing buttons, and then all of a sudden all the commands stop coming in and Stanley wants to investigate.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So the narrator is probably a more important character in the game than Stanley, because he tells you what to do. You can then choose to ignore him or follow his instructions, and he responds accordingly.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So what I'll do now is I'll just follow his instructions, because when you don't, then it becomes fun and you can experience that for yourself. I'll make a few wrong turns here and there to demonstrate.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
This is a nice example of something
Stanley
you can
stepped
do.
into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
That's absolutely useless, but quite funny.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
These doors are all closed now, but when you play the game a bit more, they're open. And actually, the game is very different from when you open it for the first time, because you don't have any save games
Stepping into his manager's office,
or anything,
Stanley
but
was once again
it does
stunned
remember
to discover
how
not an
often you've played
indication of
it
any
and when
human
you've
life.
played it.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
So what I was saying, that if you open the game for the first time, which of course for me this isn't, then there's a whole different order, a whole different set of stories the narrator tells you, and the game actually resets a few times because some stuff goes wrong. The narrator says, "Oh, please reset," or he resets it for you, and then you go through the same beginning of the story where you walk from the office to the meeting room a few times, and then after about 5 times you can continue the story. But it's such a very, it's almost, it feels like the game is broken sometimes, but it's all part of the game, so it's very strange, and you shouldn't play this game if you're in the mood for some relaxing gameplay, a nice story. It's very complicated and confusing sometimes. But it's a great variation if you're playing Hearthstone or Call of Duty or just your regular games, to play this and it's so original.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
So this is another example of the branch and storylines. The narrator wants me to go in the mind control facility. But you can also choose to go for escape. I'll do the escape. I'll show you what happens.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yes.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, it reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
But it didn't.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
So this is the museum of the Stanley Parable with an actual map of the game. These are the two doors with computers exhibited, sounds, doors, filing cabinets, they're all on display in this museum. So this is... yeah, it's weird. It's a very big museum as well. It's not like I didn't even see this the first time around. Sent from my iPad. Okay. How do you stay in shape? Yeah, so this describes the different routes you can take, the different endings to the game. Early versions of the menu. Yeah. Endings that didn't make the cut. Countdown ending.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
So now there's an option to quit before you die, or to just die. So this is all part of the game. Quitting, restarting. Any number of times.
This is the...
And here we are again. Beginning. But it looks different
When
now.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Shall we do the door on the left? We've taken already the door on the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
So there's another choice to get back on track. There's the meeting room. And when you take another detour.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
I've actually never taken this route before. I went up there and then followed the route, but I've never been in here, and I've fallen to my death here. So I'll just I'll walk this because this is new for me as well, and then I'll leave it there because there's still a lot to explore that I don't want to spoil for anyone. See where we end up. 2B3.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Oh dear. Shall I follow orders? Shall I not? Shall I let him prove that he wants to show me something beautiful, or shall I not? And of course I want to come back either way to test the other option, so I'll take the blue door.
Aha! Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
No.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Great. I'll try the blue one again.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Okay. I'll, not neutral, I'll say I don't like choices.
Oh, well, now this is useful. You didn't like it, but you didn't totally hate it either. You enjoyed it, perhaps is the correct term. It didn't cause you excruciating pain. Big steps we've made here today, Stanley. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Oop. Does this matter? No, it doesn't.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Yes, I want to be the best.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a
through doors.
prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game. all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Terrific.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose.
You can't jump.
Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house.
Oh, you might not see that. I just unlocked an achievement. You can't jump. Yeah, I was just wondering, either where's my pickaxe or why can't I jump?
Here, and then... Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. Ah, but you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable. Isn't it grand?
Yes.
Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes, yes, yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Okay. I will go mining for a diamond in the Stanley Parable.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
No, I didn't.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
Oh. No more Minecraft. Portal?
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is. Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte. Genius. No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games. And I highly doubt you're...
Well, back in the Stanley Parable. Progress. Oh. Wow, I have no idea where I am now or what to do, and I can hardly see. Oh, here are the two doors. Oh, there's some light. Follow the light. Oh, there's my office.
I wonder what he found.
Huh?
If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Apparently, I'll have to wait too? Or do I have to quit? Oh. And I'm back again. Okay, I'll
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'll leave it here. So there's still some exploring to do. I'll definitely recommend you buy this game. It's confusing, it's sometimes it's frustrating, but most of the time it's very surprising and very entertaining. So I'd say definitely go for it. It's not very expensive, it doesn't need a big PC. I'm not playing this on a great system, but yeah, definitely go for it.